All right, everyone. Good morning and welcome. This is the ESL One Genting Close South American qualifiers. We have SG Esports versus Rebirth Esports today. This is a best of 3 series. I'm your caster, Moxie. I'm casting this with Forge Dota, and unfortunately, it looks like we had to restart the lobby after the first make, and somehow we got separated in our channels. So if you're watching in game, I'm really sorry. You're not going to be able to hear Forge talking because we're separate, like I said, but you can go to the stream, which is twitch.tv ESL_ join Dota yellow if you want to hear both of us. But otherwise, if you're just here in game, you're only going to be hearing me, unfortunately.
It's not the worst thing. I've been told, I need to talk less anyway. So people on the stream will get to suffer through, but people in Dota TV will get some reprieve from myself. But draft's already underway, and we've got a first pick Elder Titan.
Yeah, we actually saw some interesting stuff happen yesterday. We got the 7.07D update, and we saw a lot of heroes actually get the nerf stick. Among those, Morphling got a heavy nerf, especially when you consider the fact that he no longer can shift while stunned. And Medusa also received some nerfs. I'm not sure if it's going to be quite enough to make her less of a pick, but we do see the Elder Titan picked up immediately, like you said, on the side of SG, and we've got a Tusk pickup, which has been gaining more and more traction. We talked about that yesterday, actually.
Yeah, Tusk is a hero I think is going to slowly work his way back into the meta. All he needs really is like one slight buff here or there, maybe like a mana cost tweak or a cooldown tweak, and I think he'll be right back into the meta. But Shards is just such a great repositioning ability, and a lot of the offlaners right now focus on just being able to tank through a lot of disables. You know, you think of your Tide Hunters, your Omni Knights and such, but there is no Repel and there is no Kraken Shell that can save you from the Ice Shards block. So Tusk making his way back into the meta through that. And of course, the ability to stun through Repel with the Walrus Punch is really good as well. So I'm excited to see this hero back in there, especially as a potential save against the Elder Titan with the big stomp plays.
We do see another tiny pickup here on the side of Rebirth. Apologies, guys. Again, we do not have a ticket for this particular qualifiers. It looks like Valve wasn't able to pull it out in time. So we do have some players that, as you noticed, are not showing up properly on the side of SG Esports and, of course, Rebirth. So we'll do our best to try to let you know who's playing what, but might be a little difficult. So we'll probably just end up referring to teams by their names. But yeah, we actually followed Rebirth a little bit during the open qualifiers. They're the only Chilean team, I believe. I know they're the only Chilean team to advance further, but I believe they were the only Chilean team to actually join the open qualifiers. So that's pretty cool right there.
Yeah, some national pride going on from Chile.
And we also know, from what I've seen in some of their former drafts, oh, there's the Omni Knight. Now, he did get a couple nerfs. He did get, his purification range is like super tiny now, if I remember correctly. I think it's 575 to 450.
Yep, and the talent, the level 20 talent for his mana regen is got nerfed as well. Most people, I don't think, really grab that talent anyway, but it's still, if you do grab it, going to be worse. And I think the cooldown is going to be the biggest one. The 3-minute cooldown on GA at level 1 is going to be really, really big.
I don't know. That Omni Knight talent was pretty impressive, though, before with the +4 mana regen. It meant that you never really had to go back to well. Like, you were constantly on the map. You didn't have to return. Just a slight nerf, though, only reduced by about 1, so... But yeah, the Guardian Angel cooldown. Again, though, Guardian Angel is just so incredibly strong, especially with the way that they've reworked a lot of the purges, or rather...
gotten rid of most of them.
They've gotten them, yeah, exactly. So it makes it very difficult then to deal with Omni Knight. But yeah, it's still a value pick. I'm actually surprised it slid through here. I would have thought that that'd be something high on the list to still get rid of. But... Winter Wyvern, of course, has enjoyed a very high rate of pick ban and also just success in general. The Bane's been popular, Night Stalker with the Vision. The Dispel coming out from the Brewmaster makes sense that they'd want to ban that on the side of SG with the pickup of Omni. And of course, Ogre has been very popular. Top pick ban material. Again, I think he's actually surpassed Wyvern at this point, if I recall correctly.
Not really that surprising considering how many right-click cores are there. Like, you think of Ogre as this big tanky beast in the early game. You can't really trade with him. He's got like 7-8 armor at the start, really high regen as well. Ignite is just a terribly annoying laning harass that a lot of offlaners, even the Omni Knight, can kind of struggle to deal with. And on top of all that, the Bloodlust attack speed on somebody like the Tiny or, the Medusa that we've seen so much of lately. Ogre is just really, really strong paired with the right course.
Well, he's also just the favorite babysitter mid. I think when I was looking at some of the pro meta stats over on Dota Buff, it actually showed Ogre as being a mid hero because of how much time he just sits there. Again, like you said, he's very, very tanky. He's got high regen, and he's just so annoying when he throws out the fire, the ignites and such over and over. He's almost as annoying as, say, the Skywrath Mage, I would say, with all the bolts being thrown at your head. Or in the case of Bane, like we saw yesterday, being enfeebled constantly and being Nightmare constantly, so you just keep missing CS.
Yeah, Bane also getting hit with the ban in the first phase doesn't really surprise me there. He's just such an incredibly annoying laner. Like you said, whatever lane he parks himself in, either mid lane, which we've seen a lot of, or even in that safe lane, babysitting his core. Just the ability to deny so much last hit and just zone out with Nightmare is crazy for support.
Well, I mean, he's super popular too, not only just within the current meta, but also in South America. We've seen quite a few times that he's been picked up if he's allowed through. What's interesting, though, too, looking at Rebirth, they actually ban out the Death Prophet, and that's a hero that they used a lot of during the open qualifiers. I believe they used her twice, as well as AA getting picked up. So it's interesting that they banned that out. They did see, going through my notes here, SG did run a Death Prophet fairly recently.
I mean, Death Prophet's just strong in the meta right now. Paired, again, situationally. I don't think she's good enough that you can consistently pick her, but if you have somebody like an Omni Knight sitting behind her, Repel just makes her immortal. You want to burst that hero down because Exorcism does so much damage, but when you have an Omni Knight and an Elder Titan sitting behind her, it can become very difficult, and that's a huge amount of physical damage that's coming onto a Tiny with very, very low armor. So I think the ban makes a lot of sense. You don't want SG picking up heroes that can group around the Omni Knight. You want to try and force them to split up as much as possible and not be able to trade effectively in towers.
And we do see the Rubik pickup here. I like this. We saw this actually yesterday. One of the teams picked up a Rubik while the other team had the Omni Knight. And we saw a really good Guardian Angel steal from Rubik that actually turned the entire fight around. So I'm going to be looking for some good plays out of this guy right here. Shadow Shaman gets picked up for SG. Very solid lane support. More lockdown, which is something they're really kind of lacking. Elder Titan sometimes has a little bit of difficulty landing those stomps, just because especially the range has gotten nerfed. But when you have a Shadow Shaman holding someone down or hexing them, it's going to make life a lot easier.
Yeah, it also gives them that same kind of thing that the Death Prophet would have given them, which is that group potential around the Omni Knight. You drop wards, Omni Knight sits behind, healing the creep wave, keeping it alive. Just gives them that group as 5 potential that SG is looking for, and Rebirth is trying as hard as they can to split them up. That's why they're going to grab this Nyx now as their offlaner. They're going to scout with the Nyx, follow up with the Tusk, and have the Tiny for burst damage. They really want to try and find people by themselves and delay that 5-man push that's coming out from SG.
That's going to be interesting seeing how they can pull this off, because they are very strong with the Shadow Shaman having wards as well. And I'm not sure how else they're going to build this draft, and particularly if they're going to go really early kind of push, if we're going to see something like, I know DK has been really popular, or something else that just pushes towers really, really quickly. We actually saw yesterday too, I believe it was Lucchini versus, oh, my brain is blanking already. Lucchini versus Vulture, where they actually drafted a Vengeful Spirit Beastmaster and just ran down lanes. They just mowed right through them. So I think they also started picking up Necro books on their Bane as well.
Yeah, the Helm of Doms on the cores is what it was. But yeah, they just did the good old Zoo strat. And SG's going to grab themselves a Lifestealer. So this is going to give them the potential to push outside of Shaman wards. Also going to give them some kind of fighting potential outside of a unit of 5. The only thing that they're kind of lacking for SG right now is some kind of mobile hero that can get that Lifestealer up close, personal. I would kind of like to see that Storm Spirit. It is a little scary into the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's very scary into the Nyx.
it is scary, but you do have the Omni Knight. You have Elder Titan that can get some nice saves off. And if you grab an early silence, Rubik is useless. Tusk is useless. And it's a really, really solid vehicle. Puck's banned out. Quap's banned out. There's not really that many great vehicles left for the Lifestealer in that mid position that SG is gonna have to look for.
Yeah, a lot of the popular picks, including the Bat, are actually taken out as well. So mobility is going to be pretty important for the side of SG. Granted, we usually see a Blink Dagger pick up over onto the Shaman, but the side of Rebirth has just a little bit better of initiation with the Tusk, with Tiny jumping in with tossing, and of course Nyx Assassin just sitting on that back line, probably going to be hunting that Omni Knight as much as possible, just making sure that he can't get the ult off. And then of course Rubik trying to stand off in the wings, waiting for that perfect moment to steal Omni Knight spells. So pretty interested to see what they're going to grab here on both sides. So we talked about mobility over on the side of SG. What about for Rebirth here? What do you think they want to pick?
They just need strong lanes right now. Nyx Assassin can kind of lane by himself. The Tiny can lane by himself pretty sustainably. So if they grab themselves just one more solid mid laner that can kind of be independent, that leaves a lot of room for the Tusk and the Rubik to roam around as two. Tusk, I think, going to have a bit of a tough time ganking these lanes. Lifestealer's a hard kill. Omni Knight's a hard kill. So they need to set themselves up for independent lanes that the Rubik and the Tusk can go gank together.
Well, there's the DK, like we talked about, though.
Yeah, and with the DK, too, this is 3 really hard lanes to gank. The Shards are going to help against the Omni Knight, but they're going to grab themselves the Medusa. So there's that strong independent woman that we were looking for.
She don't need no man or any move speed, apparently. Mystic Snail over here. Got the Crystal Maiden treatment.
Yeah, 275 movement speed on her now. And the nerf, I think, is really going to be the big one, because that's going to slow down her farming speed quite a bit.
I'm sure we just see everyone get a Force Staff and just force her around. Just scooch her big ol' snake booty around here.
Well, there's speaking of Force Staff, her Hurricane Pike got nerfed too, so she can't even naturally build into that as comfortably before.
Because Mask of Madness also got a big nerf as well.
Yeah, Mask of Madness slowing down her farming speed, and the Hurricane Pike slowing down her mobility with the extra 3-second cools could be big. But she is still strong against the DK as well as the Lifestealer. Can stand there and fight pretty well. It's going to basically come down to the laning phase, I think, where how effective this Tusk is.
How do you feel about their initiation on the side of SG right now?
I don't really think they need initiation. Like, they don't really need that much jump. If they want to, they can grab like a Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade on the Dragon Knight, a Blink Dagger on the Shaman, but what they've kind of just set themselves up for is, rather than jumping into what Rebirth has to offer, they're saying, we've got wards, we've got a DK with Dragon Form, we're going to push your towers, you need to jump into us. And there's an Omni Knight and an Elder Titan sitting in the back lines waiting to respond to whatever threat that is. So rather than setting themselves up for what they need to initiate, they're daring Rebirth to come at them.
All right, fair enough. So we're here. We're in game number 1 of this series of SG Esports versus Rebirth. Again, guys, apologies. We don't have a ticket for this, so everyone's names are not showing up properly. But we do get a smoke over here on SG.
The only one I know for sure is Costabile on the Lifestealer, because he's got the table flip emoji.
The table flip. I did check a couple, but I'm trying to keep an eye on what they're doing with the smoke. It looks like Costabile is, like you said, on the Lifestealer. Let's Try Our Best is for DR. ASDA is Deliocore, I want to say. Bardo is the smiley face. And I think Laposa's showing up as Laposa, but Tiny already guessing that something is up, hiding himself over here in the trees. Fun fact.
There's nobody showing bottom, so that means that they're top. Sorry, you had a fun fact.
Oh yeah, fun fact about Angel over on the side of Rebirth. He's actually ranked 42 for his area last time I checked during the opens. So looking forward to seeing some nice plays coming out from this guy over here.
Since we don't have a ticket, which one's Angel playing?
Angel's playing the Tiny, and he is labeled as Angel.
Oh, look at that. He is too. Haha. I feel smart.
Don't worry about it.
Well,
We're also struggling a little bit. You will only be hearing me in-game right now. Unfortunately, we had a restart on the lobby and Forge and I got separated. So apologies for that. We are streaming this over at twitch.tv/join, /ESL_join Dota yellow. That perfect timing for that last creep there. Do you see that?
yeah, the little TP there. I like this trend that's been coming out from supports blocking and then just TPing into the lane. That free TP is nice. Does lose a little bit of mana, but just grabs early Dragon Blood, so he doesn't need mana right now.
Oh, there's a gank already on mid. We get the lift over onto the DK. They're going to try to body block him a little bit here. Shards come out, and that's actually going to be first blood going on to Cross. Good start.
So this is what they need to do, right? Just roam Rubik and the Tusk together. Leave the Tiny kind of by himself. Actually, speaking of Tiny by himself, he's dying.
Top lane, yeah. It looks like they had a gank set up as well.
Yeah. Maybe leaving Tiny alone level 1. Not quite the play, but First Blood does go the way of Rebirth, so that's nice.
Looks like they've already got another Shackle followed up, looking for some more damage. Shard's actually gonna push him away. He goes out, he grabs the tree. He's getting just chased down by this Lifestealer. The support's trying to buy him a little bit of time, get the telekinesis, throw him over into tower range. Will they get the kill? Yes! They'll be able to get that last hit with a little help from a tree.
Yeah, Costabile got a little too aggressive there. I'm just trying to get the extra couple of hits on the Tiny, but nice lift from the Rubik and really good shards placement from the Tusk. Blocks off the chase.
This top lane is clearly going to be a bloodbath, considering they did get a gank off mid. Dusa seems to be absolutely fine now. Both of those heroes pretty tanky, not going to have to worry about really getting a kill on each other. Although, as I say that, I'm sure I'll get the Caster's Curse and someone's just going to 1v1 each other.
I think if anybody's got the kill potential, it's going to be the Medusa. Mystic Snake is just so good if you can bounce it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom's going to be a farm fest, though. It's going to be a little bit tougher for the Omni Knight because he's going to get mana burn constantly, but other than that, he's just going to farm just fine. Especially once he gets Soul Ring online.
Yeah, Tiny's actually struggling pretty hard to get CS, as is the Lifestealer here with this aggro. Again, it's been a lot of just attacking each other, looking for that opening, and then counter-initiating. There's going to be a big snowball roll over onto the Elder Titan here. He does have Stomp, but he's going to get stunned up. Telekinesis comes in, and it looks like Rubik going to get himself another kill, but he's going to pay for it with his life. He's all shackled up here. Lifesteal, he's going to try to get a couple more clicks off, and it looks like now Shadow Shaman trying to run himself away. Can he help get this kill? Should be able to let him get it. Yes, Lifestealer will clean up, but it looks like now Shadow Shaman trying to run out. There's the Echo Sound coming in, but the shards will still be able to take him down. And now Tusk totally out of mana, probably looking to try to get himself away. Cross will TP himself back to lane. They'll throw out a couple harass hits here, but like we said, this lane, we're only 3 minutes in Forge and we've seen 6 kills.
Yeah, bloody game. I mean, Tiny and Lifestealer kind of fulfilling the same role in here. They just want to be the tanky frontliner for their team and do a bunch of damage and be scary, but if you pit them up against the lane...
Oh, you cannot leave Tiny alone up here. He's already in so much trouble. Shadow Shaman hasn't even used any of his spells, really, other than the Ether Shock for that. He didn't even use Shackles for that Forge. That is some feels bad, man. Right there.
That's rough.
Yeah, they drop a TP for him.
They have to. I think he used his to get out previously, but...
Dragon Knight living that no mana life as he faces off with Dusa. It's actually leading in terms of CS right now, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, the Breathe Fire reduction change in 707 was really nice because it doesn't just do base damage anymore, it's all of your damage. So what is it, 20% of, 25% of the 10. It's not a whole lot, but it adds up.
Bottom lane, Omni Knight having the time of his life, just whacking away over at these creeps, currently leading CS to 23-4. Against that Nyx Assassin. And,
Yeah, and
more movement again up here. They've got their eyes over here on the Rubik, but it looks like Shadow Shaman was not paying attention here. He's actually found himself now over here into these shards. Big Echo Stomp coming in, though. This could be a kill on Rubik. Oh, the snowball save, though. We'll buy them a little bit more time. Can they turn this around? He'll pop his wand here, or rather his stick. Looks like Rubik trying to just dodge himself around. Drops the ward. They've got the shackles out. Can they get this kill? They will be able to. And now it looks like they're trying to body block the Lifestealer. They don't want to let him get anywhere near their Tiny right now. Kraw's actually going to have to TP out. Beautiful shards. Oh, but he grabs the Rubik at the last second. He sees him.
That was.
This is a lot of excitement to start our day. My goodness.
They're going support for support. It's not the worst trade. Tiny's getting forced out of lane a lot as well. That's one of the advantages of having the life stealers. He's got the built-in. He can just stay there, whereas Tiny has to now go pop the shrine. Only level 3 on the Tiny. Level 4 and just about a half on the life stealer. Has his treads. Not his phase boots. That's interesting.
Dusa actually getting pushed back here over into mid. We talked about possibly Dusa getting the better of this lane, but they're trying to jump over onto Tiny again. We'll be able to throw out a toss over onto Shadow Shaman. They're still coming in hot, though. Rage comes out. Shard's actually going to separate the two of them right now. We'll be able to get the shackles off over onto Tiny. Going to get a stomp off. Toss will be able to clean up the tusk, and they'll be able to take down the Elder Titan. 2 Angels trying desperately to break some knees here into the trees. He's not going to be able to get away, is he? Oh, he's still alive, though. He's sitting at 12 hit points right now, Forge. Can he get himself away from the Shadow Shaman? No, that base damage. He's just going to do enough damage to click him. When the snowball, though, will take out Shadow Shaman.
Man, what a bloody lane. But they are killing the Tiny, and Lifestealer's staying there, so...
I love it.
This is working out really, really nicely for SG. Every time that Lifestealer gets to stay in lane and Tiny has to TP out, it's another 50 gold, it's another 50
How many times
gold.
have these guys been back and forth in the well is what I want to know. The amount of bloodshed just going back and forth.
I mean, Lifestealer's only had to back to the shrine just now. At, 6.5 minutes. You can see it just in the levels. Tiny's 4.5.
He needs to be careful here. Yeah, Shard's gonna come out. He does have rage if he needs to. And Elder Titan and Shadow Shaman making their way back over right now.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, the shards are less of a trap for the Lifestealer and more of a Watchman Rorschach moment of they're not stuck in there with him.
Yeah, right?
You're stuck in there with Lifestealer.
When they get the D-ward off, or almost get it off. Looks like that's a fresh one planted. I feel like we've been totally neglecting the bottom lane. I'm so sorry, guys. It's just been so much action here in top. Omni Knight actually still leading CS 45 and 8, Nyx Assassin 29 and 5.
I think the crazier thing is that Medusa's been forced to go back to the jungle. She's had to completely abandon the lane. DK is completely alone right now. 37 CS and 19 denies for him. And now Deuce is kind of close behind, but a lot of that is the jungle creeps. They don't give as much gold and XP as they used to. So
that's definitely not how you imagine this lane going. He does have a soul ring that he's picked up too, so that'll help him with the mana issues.
She's going to get ganked though.
Yeah, they are coming around the corner here. Big Echo Stomp will land over onto Dusa. There's the Dragon Form and the Shackles. Should be able to clean up the Snake Lady. Clean up middle aisle.
And TP does get canceled. So
Price
that's
up the supports. Okay, yeah, there's the roll in with the snowball. We'll be able to throw out the shards, try to block off here. There's going to be the rage coming out. It will just push the Lifestealer back. Nothing too wild here, but I was about to say, now that you know that they're over in mid, definitely take advantage of that top. This has been a really tough lane for Tiny, my goodness.
I mean, I almost think that that swings the other way. Now that you know the TP can't be there and Medusa has to cancel her TP as well, this tower is pretty much dead, I think. I don't think it can stand. And Nick's calling for some rotations down bottom because the bottom T1 is going.
Yeah, he's got the Vendetta. He's looking at this Omni Knight. That's going to be so frustrating, knowing that this guy's just whacking away at your tower. We'll go forward, breaks the Vendetta. Is going to miss the Impale, unfortunately. And we actually see Tiny making the rotation here. It's a little bit too slow, though, unfortunately.
He was the only one with TP.
Middle lane, though. Looks like we got another Echo Stamp over onto Rubik. And they're pleased with that. They've got a TP rotation. We'll just back off.
And we've got an Omni Knight sitting at top of the net worth. He's got himself his full mana. He's got his full Ether Lens at 9 minutes. He had mana boots before that. I didn't even see the timing on that. And he's got his full Ether Lens to compensate for the nerf to Purification. It's a pretty good Omni Knight game, Moxie.
Definitely. Anytime that you can play the off lane and you actually get farm as well, let alone being top of the net worth, it's got to be a feels good, man. But Lifestealer hitting away at this tower. Not too much that Nyx can do. Does have the Vendetta up, but it seems like there's a lot of focus being placed over here on middle. No mana over onto this Dragon Knight. Does have the Soul Ring if he needs it, but they're starting to do some pincering movement. They get a D-Ward, though, off from the Shadow Shaman, and in comes Rubik. Tusk trying to protect their Snake Lady here.
Got a DD on the Tiny, so maybe they can get some moves going down, but he can't. I mean, he can't fight the Omni Knight. Omni Knight's got 4 levels on him.
Oh, the Echo Stomp lands here in the top lane. Looks like they're not going to attack the Nyx, though. They know he's got Vendetta. I don't believe they have any detection on them. Yeah, he's going to go ahead, peek around the corner, see that there's a Shadow Shaman. Now, he does have a Sentry, so Papua needs to be very careful here. But they need to start applying pressure somewhere else, I think. As this Dusa has attracted so much attention, and Tiny is so far behind right now. Yeah, Sentry gets placed over onto the side. He needs to be very careful. They're going to see him right now.
Pinks come out. They're playing pretty cautiously. They know he's there, but they don't want him to know that he's there. Like, they don't want him to know. The
game of who can care less, right?
That's it.
They've got their eyes over on the Shadow Shaman, though. We do see the Tusk standing nearby. I'm not sure if they're going to try to jump him for this. Rubik actually behind the tower, though, so then maybe they'll bait the Rubik.
Yeah, they're just trying to slowly siege away, get the tower. They don't want to do anything too crazy. Rage is there if anything goes horribly wrong. I don't think. Yeah, there's no Walrus Punch yet on the Tusk. There's no good way to cancel a Rage TP if things go absolutely crazy.
Oh, they've got their eyes over here on Papua. Doesn't have Vendetta up just yet. About 5 seconds. The Hex comes out. They oh, look at those shackles! Land the Echo Stomp on top of that as well. But they need more detection. They ran out of sentries. Nick's just gonna mess around with them a little bit. Remind them that he's still there and stick his tongue out at them too.
So DK does take the mid tower while all this is going on. Grabs himself a Blink Dagger as well. That's coming out on the Courier and looking to spend the rest of his Elder form hitting this tower, and it looks like they're gonna get 2 towers with that 1 cooldown.
Yeah, I don't think you can contest this right now on the side of Rebirth. I think you send someone to a different lane, or you just take advantage of the fact that you know there's a lot of heroes top. Still keeping tabs over here on this Elder Titan. Did just get his 6. They will run into nice Ice Shards followed up with the Impale and a clicker or 2. Popfua will be able to get that kill, but top tower goes down while all this is happening, and Lifestealer will just TP himself out and head towards mid.
Yeah, and while all that was happening, there was a Omni Knight who just ran up, hit the Medusa twice, and she just TP'd away. She didn't even want to deal with it.
No one wants to deal with an Omni Knight, let's be really honest here. Top lane, we actually lose, or not top lane, we lose the Shadow Shaman though, and this is a big reveal here. Dragon Knight, he's got his Blink Dagger, he's got an Infest Bomb, and he's gonna jump in the middle over here.
No mana shield on the Dusa, not able to turn it on in time.
It's a rough game for her.
It's a good reveal.
Right now we're seeing Omni Knight still ahead of the net worth here. 6.9k, 5.9 on the DK, 5.8 on Lifestealer.
It's 13 minutes in. He's got Phase, Aether Lens, and 2,000 gold. This Omni Knight is absolutely insanely farmed. Tiny has been playing catch up in the bottom lane though. He's got himself another 1,000 gold heading towards that Blink Dagger now. He needs to play some recovery and start coming online so he can make space for the Dusa. Dusa is going to be very late to this party, and Tiny needs to come online so that he can make space. The Nyx can try and help. He had the best lane out of the Rebirth cores, but I mean, Nyx, Rubik, and Tusk, it's a hard kill on pretty much any of the cores. They can't really aim for the cores just yet.
So what do they need to do here? Do they need to just keep dragging out this game and hoping that, you know, their cores will somehow manage? I don't even know if they can manage to catch up in farm currently. I think maybe we see the Nyx Assassin try to travel around a little bit. Or not Nyx Assassin, sorry. The supports. Oh, they do find the Nyx Assassin. He's got a haste rune though, gonna be able to run himself out, and they're gonna take the bottom tower.
DK pops his ulti.
Yeah, they're rapidly losing towers here on the side of Rebirth.
And the Shaman wards are gonna get dropped.
Oh, and he found himself Tusk over here. Dragentail comes out. Shards will block the path from the rest of the team. We still see that Spirit, though. He's wandering around. They're looking for him. They're gonna try to get the stomp off. Oh, he goes. He uses the snowball. Will be able to dodge it, but it's only just prolonging the inevitable here. Looks like Rubik shows up, but doesn't manage to help him. And now looks like he's also in a lot of trouble. Dragentail again. There's the repel over onto the DK. He's so tanky. Telekinesis comes out. It doesn't matter because this Dragon Knight is repelled. Just a merry chase around the tower. You can hear that Benny Hill music right now. And a final purification. Even though it's been nerfed, it still manages to secure the deal.
It still does damage. And there's a Blink Dagger on the Omni Knight now. And another 1,000 gold for him. Tiny was trying to get top tower, getting a little bit of rat done. He gets most of the tower's HP, but not quite there. I mean, they need to find a way to group as 5 because they're getting picked off one by one, but the team fight is just so scary from SG right now.
Yeah, Tiny actually just TP'd himself out. He knew he couldn't get away from the lifesteal in the top lane and just dipped. Nyx does a bit of scouting though, does find himself a Dragon Knight. Looks like Tusk is coming around the corner, wants to take advantage of this.
Yeah, so this is a hard kill, but not an impossible kill, I want to say.
Well, not when you have this many people pincering over on the Dragon Knight. Nice Impale lands, they get the snowball. They'll be able to follow it up with the Stone Gaze. Can they get this kill? The Telekinesis, they're all just kind of going on different targets, so that's a huge problem right now. Earth Splitter coming in will be able to pop over onto Papuo here. They do get the kill over onto Rubik. Our Shard's coming out, do a little bit of work, and it looks like Papuo should be able to TP himself out. Oh, he's sitting so low. Tiny, he showed up. He's got an arcane room, but that Dragon Tail is going to be a bit of a problem for him, followed by the Echo Stomp. Snowball coming in, though. They want this DK. They don't want to let him get away here. Guardian Angel gets used, though. The rest of the team going to be forced to back off, although they do get the toss in, finally sealing the deal over onto DK. This Omni Knight, though, is such a problem. He puts the repel out on him, just keeps hitting back and forth. The Echo Stomp will get canceled out, though. They'll be able to throw him up into the air, and Tusk just dying the slow death of being hammered to death. Big mighty toss coming out, though. They get the kill over onto the Elder Titan.
I mean, those are a couple of really nice kills for the Tiny.
He needed those. He needed those so badly, but
they do lose top tower while all that goes down. Yeah. Snakes get dropped. Nyx was sitting there the whole time, but he's like, who do I go on? There's a Life Stealer and a Shadow Shaman.
Shadow Shaman right now. There we go. Oh. Vendetta, Impale. He just a click or two. He actually pops the drum so he can chase after him. One more hit with those little tiny crab claws. He gets the kill over onto Shaman. There's a bit of a fight going on over here in mid. Tiny trying to 1v1 the Lifestealer, and it doesn't look like it's going too great for him. But there's the Tusk coming forward here. He's looking. There's a toss. Creep's going to be able to get thrown over. They need to back off, though. Elder Titan showing himself, as is the DK over on the side. They decide, all right, that was enough.
He wanted the toss on the Rubik, but just barely missed on the spacing of it and grabs the creep instead. That would have been so clutch if they'd have gotten that off. Toss into lift, let the Tiny catch up.
I don't know, though. That could have gone very south for them. I don't think they were anticipating the fact that Elder Titan was standing nearby and the DK, and that would have made their fight a lot more difficult.
So Elder Titan just snagged one of the... Oh, never mind.
Oh, Dusa caught in the woods with a Dragon Knight. We'll have to go ahead, pop the Stone Gaze. They get the pull, though, off here over onto Rubik. There's going to be a big Echo Stomp coming in. Can he find it? He's just not really that close. There's going to be another Dragon Tail Stomp coming in. We'll be able to land over onto Dusa. Lifestealer going to take down the Rubik, and the DK taking down Dusa. They found themselves the Elder Titan, though. Can they do enough damage? It's looking pretty scary right now. Angel, he can't get himself away. That repel is just too good on Lifestealer, and it looks like they'll also take down the Nyx Assassin.
I mean, it's looking
grim.
It's looking real rough. They needed to secure the Tiny a little bit better. This Lifestealer pick was just so good into the Tiny. The low armor, the sustainability in lane, I think, was the big one. Just the fact that they could constantly trade and battle, and the Tiny was kept having to go back to base while the Lifestealer was just able to open wounds, creep, and heal himself right back up.
Yeah, that aggro tried to do a lot of work early on. Lifestealer actually catching up to the Omni Knight here. In terms of net worth, that's something I haven't said in a while.
Catching up to the Omni Knight.
Catching
Moxie.
up, Omni's giving him a run for his money down here, right? He's going for the. He's got himself his Yasha.
Yeah, he's got the full S and
This
Y.
is the race car Omni Knight. I like it.
It's the full S and Y. He's got the Sanj.
Oh, he's got the Sanj already in the career.
Yeah. Blink dagger.
That
S and
omniscience,
Y.
man. What can you do?
Pray to it. Convert.
I mean,
to
it's
his
working.
religion.
It's working for them. BKB completed now over onto DK. These fights are just getting harder and harder for the side of Rebirth.
Yeah, and another S and Y queued up on DK. They just want that early push, early aggression, get as many cheap stats as they can, and just run.
Oh, Tiny finds himself a. He can't even finish him off by himself. The heal bomb coming out, repel coming in from the Elder Titan. Big stomp will land over onto the Nyx Assassin. They found themselves a Tiny though. They'll be able to lift though, move him back, and looks like again Omni Knight gonna be able to get that kill with the purification here. Kraus trying to get out as well, but Lifestealer just says, nope, not today. You're staying here with me.
That was a
You're
lot of
my
damage.
snack.
He was there a Rubik there? Because it looks like he got eaten very quickly, and Dusa's almost dead.
I mean, when you look at the net worth,
I think the fact that Tiny can't solo kill the Elder Titan anymore is kind of indicative of how this game's going.
I mean, they're not even bothering to get an Aegis right now, Forge. They just walked right into base. They said, all right, this is our home now. We claim this.
They've got the GA on Omni ready to go, so there's no burst potential. He gets trapped in the shards and he doesn't care.
Yeah, you think I care shards? IDC. Just hops himself into a creep, pops back out. Big Echo Stomp over here on the back, grabbing the Rubik DK. And they just take the racks and they just saunter out casually. Turning back around even. They say, all right, let's go. Guardian Angel gets used. They're ready. They're going to jump over onto the Rubik, take down that tiny wannabe dragon here. Will be forced to turn around, though. Dusa using the Stone Gaze. A nice Echo Stomp gets land over on there, but the Walrus Punch coming in. They're going to try to go after this Tusk, and he is just gone. Yeah, it looks like Nyx Assassin puts up a very strong fight here, but unfortunately, they're just too strong. The side of SG just running them over like a bulldozer.
That was just, I mean, I think it just came down to the fact that it was a drafting problem, not necessarily in the sense that they had a weak draft from Rebirth, but it was just such strong lanes. One of the only issues I think with grabbing a Tusk that early is it's very easy to just draft yourself very strong lanes and make it difficult to get ganked. DK went down first blood, and then I don't think he's died since then. Lifestealer, how do you gank him really? And Omni Knight is basically immortal in this patch. So.
Oh man, look at this! Look at this Elder Titan. He's still alive. Tiny just tried really, really hard, but Omni Knight, he was ready to save him. They take down the Tiny. They're gonna be able to take down the Rubik, and there's the GG call. Game 1 of the series going over to the side of SG Esports, proving why they're one of the top SA teams.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a hard series for Rebirth for sure, and with a start like that, I mean, I hope that they can come back. I'd love to see a game 3, but with a start like that, SG's got to be feeling pretty good about themselves. Really nice draft from them.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we'll be back with game number 2, so stick around.